Hello everybody and welcome. Today's review will be of a Sig Sauer P320 compact handgun in flat dark earth. I will talk about the specifications and features of this gun first, and then I will talk about why I think that this is a gun all in its class and is the best handgun out on the market today. First of all, the specifications. The gun can be had in 9mm, 357 Sig, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 45 ACP. The gun is semi-automatic and striker fired. The slide material is stainless steel, and on the flat dark earth models it has a PVD coating. Obviously the frame's polymer. The accessory rail is a true mil-spec 1913 accessory rail. It's obviously striker fired. The trigger pulls at 6.5 pounds. I have not measured that myself. I don't have a trigger gauge. Barrel length on this particular model is 3.9 inches. The height is 7.2 inches. The width is 1.3 inches. And the height is 5.3 inches. And it weighs in at 25.8 ounces. I'll quickly hit on some of the safety features here. It's got a striker safety, which prevents the striker from releasing unless the trigger is pulled. Pretty standard. A disconnect safety. Prevents the pistol from firing out of battery. That is pretty standard as well. It's got a 3-point takedown safety, so the magazine has to be removed. The slide must be locked to the rear, and you must rotate the takedown lever for disassembly without tools or trigger manipulation. So you don't have to pull the trigger to release the slide, it just comes off. I'll go ahead and do a quick demonstration of that. I guess I'll just do it right now. The gun is unloaded, so I took the magazine out, but if the magazine was in, I would not be able to rotate the takedown lever on the gun. Since it's out, I can go ahead and lock the slide back to the rear, rotate the takedown lever, and without pulling the trigger, I can pull the slide off. No big deal. Pretty standard for striker fired pistols these days. I know the M&P has the safety lever or the sear disconnect, and the Glock you have to pull the trigger. I'm unfamiliar with Springfield's, but that's pretty much a basic takedown. In many ways I think it's a little bit better. I don't know. So we'll go ahead and move on. It's just a basic overall look of the specifications. In many ways, guys and girls, I think this is the standard of striker fired polymer pistols today. It definitely is reliable as any other striker fired system out on the market today. It does, to be honest, it does a lot of things well that many other manufacturers do well too. Glock and Smith & Wesson and Springfield, and name your pick, name your pistol. I think it's very reliable. I have now about 2,000 rounds on the platform, and there's no malfunctions that the pistol has had. I had some malfunctions due to ammo, but that was because of my reloading and of incorrectly reloading ammunition. But the gun itself has been impeccably reliable, which I think is the standard today for most polymer frame pistols. Just the modern processes of how they make these things. You should still go out, shoot a number of rounds through your gun to make sure it is reliable. These things are mass produced, and you could get a bad one still, but for the most part they are, they're all reliable. Where I think the Sig P320 rises above the rest is in the modularity of the gun itself. The ability to switch calibers, and I think the biggest selling point for me is that this frame is not a serialized part. The internals of the gun are serialized. So taking the gun apart again, you'll see this chassis right here is the serialized part of the gun, which is huge because I like to stipple my guns. I know a lot of other people that like to stipple their guns too, and as easy as disassembling the gun and popping this out. This is the serialized part. So with that, this is not serialized. You can go buy one at the store, or not at the store, but well, if a store stocks it. But you can go to Sig Sauer's website or a number of online realtors and buy one for 30 to 40 bucks. It's shipped straight to your house. What this meant for me was when I go and stipple a handgun, if I ever wanted to sell a gun, if I did it on a Glock or an M&P, that's a permanent modification. I can chop this up, melt it down, do whatever I want, go spend 30 or 40 bucks on a new grip module, slap it together, and now I have an OEM gun again. It's a huge deal to me to be able to do that. This is no longer your serialized part. What that also means is that you can go on Sig's website or to a number of online stores and buy caliber conversions. So with the 9mm version of the gun, you can go buy a 40 Smith & Wesson caliber conversion. You can go buy a 357 Sig and 40 Smith & Wesson, and you go buy those. I think they're anywhere from 350 to 400 bucks. You get with that you get a new grip module, you get a slide, you get a magazine, a barrel, a spring, and a magazine, and that ships straight to your door. Once it gets to your door, you slap your chassis in, and you have a 357, a 40, whatever gun you want. You can't swap it with a 45 because the components are a little bit bigger and bulkier. So with the 45, I think you're pretty much stuck with 45 unless they come out with some kind of 10mm, which would be pretty sweet. But for now, you are pretty much, you're going to buy a 9mm and you can switch it from 40 to 357 Sig and all that. So, but that's why I think the Sig really rises above the competition, because of solely of this. The gun's reliable. It meets every other benchmark out there for a striker fired polymer pistol, and you have a frame that you can stipple, you can chop up, you can do whatever modifications you want to it, and it doesn't hurt the resale of your gun because you can just go ahead and go buy a new grip module. No big deal. The gun shoots great. You know, all the Sigs come with night sights, which I love about Sig, that they put all their night sights on all their guns from the factory. It's pretty awesome. So I'll go ahead and put this together real quick. It's really easy. This part's I think that's the magazine disc, or the magazine disconnect, not the magazine disconnect, but the little blocker that doesn't allow you to take the gun apart if the magazine's inserted is what catches on that lever a little bit. So you also notice that on this gun, it has the new style low profile slide release and like a Gen 2 frame, pretty much, that has this gated section. And then this is a low profile takedown lever, which is pretty cool. You can buy those online. I go to TopGunSupply.com, has a lot of Sig parts and pieces. Obviously, you can probably go to Sig's website and buy it as well. But there it is, guys. That's pretty much why I think this gun is the top dog right now. I haven't really seen anything coming out that I think is pretty cool. I think that, I'm pretty sold on this platform. I've standardized all my gear around it, and that's what I'm going to be running. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.